It's 9 a.m. I know, gay people, and it's 9 a.m., but this is something new. I'm gonna talk about LGBTQ plus stuff and get our week started. So get a cup of Joe. You know I love me some Joe, just not the way most of you gay boys love Joe anyway. We got some things to talk about. It's gonna be a great week.
Gay boys, hashtag that girl, sunbeams, drag queens, L-word, is that girl, the girl of all our dreams. She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, hashtag that girl, pride-filled, tea-dance, Wilton, is that girl, Latina, but she's universal too. If you find a girl to love, only one girl to love, then she'll be that girl too. That girl.
Next, gay boys. I'm one of those lesbians that adores my gay boys. But let's face it, this is an LGBTQ plus show. At 9 in the morning, they're asleep. So, if I want the gay boy perspective, I have to go where they're at this time of morning. This segment is called Gay Boys Sleep Late. Where else to fish for them than while they're still sleeping in bed? This morning we're joined by my guy pal, model and performer, DAMIAN LENORE. You can find him on Instagram at Return of Babylon. So let's get in bed with DAMIAN as Gay Boys Sleep Late. Good morning, DAMIAN.
Good morning, Faye.
Here's some cafecito.
Oh, you brought coffee this time. Thank you.
Listen, I figured it's the third time that I'm breaking into your house. I'm being invited into your house, and I even brought my dog this time because everywhere I go, there's got to be a pup.
Absolutely.
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good. So who was that boy that I let out? Do you want to talk about him?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
We'll keep that on the know, all right? We'll keep that on the low. I know. So there's a lot of interesting things that we're going to be talking about this week in the LGBTQ plus community. DAMIAN, let's kiki on some of them right now. Cool?
Okay.
All right. First, let's talk about Pride. My Hollywood Pride was a smashing success. I was there broadcasting at the main stage. You performed, so much talent and entertainment, the booths, the brunch, the flag raising. Wow. But above all else, celebrating a brand new South Florida Pride and HRC's 100% rating of Hollywood. Miami Beach and Wilton Manors got a new little brother or sister or non-binary Pride. What are we all talking about?
What a fantastic event that was.
Oh my God, incredible. And all the people that were out.
It was awesome.
How did you feel about your performance? I thought you were spectacular, my friend.
Thank you so much. It was an interesting thing to take numbers that are usually rated R and have to kind of tailor them to be PG-13, because, you know, there were kids there. You want to keep it at a certain, I don't want to say taste level, but...
Well, did you notice all the gay boys screaming, "No, take it off! You didn't hear that? Because, that might have been me screaming too, just to let you know. But it was an awesome Pride, and I'm so proud of them. So proud of everything that they did. All the volunteers, all the people that put it all together. It was an incredible event, and you were awesome.
Thank you so much.
And your mom was fantastic, as usual.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Velva Lenore is just amazing.
She's wonderful.
Amazing. Well, next, RuPaul. Ears perked up. I know that's one of your favorite shows.
I love that show so much.
So RuPaul's Drag Race has launched, and all those beautiful gay boys, season after season. Then Mama Ru fought for years against trans. Now we have trans contestants, one even won. This season, a cis woman competed in RDR UK. Well now, who can believe it? The new season features Maddy Morphosis, and he likes girls. Wait. What? Yeah, he's a cis white stray boy. Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! What are we all talking about? What do you think about that?
So, when I first heard about that, I was very not for it.
Really?
At all.
Okay, why? What did you think?
It's just kind of like straight people hijacking our culture yet again. It's kind of a tired narrative, and like, let us have something. But then I thought about it more, and I'm like, as long as he's being respectful of the history of drag, respectful to the other performers, it's an art after all.
It is.
This is somebody showcasing their art, and giving it to the world.
Well, like, you do burlesque. You don't have an issue with women doing burlesque, right?
No. I mean, women originated burlesque.
Yeah, so the more the merrier.
It's almost, I'm in a similar position because...
You are, yeah, because you're going into the realm that usually is held by women in burlesque, and you're doing it as a boy. So now you are a fan of Maddy.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm Maddy's #1 fan.
Okay.
But I respect what Maddy is doing.
Do you think he'll get cut soon? I don't know. Let's see. I mean, he looks super talented. I definitely will be watching. We'll be watching for sure.
And he's doing great. We love it.
Next, House of Gucci. Father, son, and House of Gucci. Yes. Yes. All right, I'm a lesbian. That's all I got. No. I just like to say it as much as possible to remind people that I'm not a gay boy. But I did get excited this week. Then Reddit exploded when in Europe, Lady Gaga talked about her role in House of Gucci. What had us all a Twitter was that she pushed the producers for a lesbian sex scene with the delicious Salma Hayek, putting brand new meaning into Born This Way. What are we all talking about? What do you think about that sex scene that got cut out?
So they're going to take my gay card away because I have not gone to see that movie yet.
You have not seen House of Gucci?
That's sacrilege, I know.
Oh, I know.
But, I mean, I think Lady Gaga is a fantastic actress.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
That would be great representation to have that scene in the movie.
Forget about representation. How about the fact that Salma Hayek is hot and Lady Gaga is adorable? And I would watch that sex scene over and over. Have you seen Salma Hayek's boobs? I mean, like, she's like I don't know. I think she's like 80, and she's still gorgeous.
She is so stunning. I remember the first time I really saw her was in Dusk Till Dawn, where she played the vampire stripper.
Oh, yes, and the little outfits that she had
with the snake.
Yes.
That was everything.
Would you watch them have sex?
I would.
And how about if they asked you to join? I'm just... In a dream world, they would ask me to join, so I'm just asking you.
I could just help direct.
You would just help direct.
Move your boobs this way.
Move your boobs
Fix
to the
your
left.
hair. Here, I got you. There we go. All right, you're doing great, sweetie.
You'd be a great director. DAMIAN LENORE, the director of the next lesbian sex scene, coming to your theater soon. Watch out. Next, you're going to love this. Madonna 2.0. A new biopic has been announced about the Material Girl, and guess who's going to play the gay icon? You ready?
I'm ready.
Her daughter Lourdes. What are we all talking about? What do you think? You're a big Madonna fan.
I love Madonna.
Okay, like that for sure, right?
I love Madonna. I think she's amazing.
So what do you think?
I think it's going to be fierce.
What do you think about Lourdes?
I don't know if she can act or not.
Well, her mom can't act either.
And look what she got.
Sorry, Madonna.
I feel like with certain forms of entertainment, it's not as much about acting and really being super dramatic and talented as it is selling a story and looks and music and putting something pretty and fun out there for people to watch.
Yeah. Well, Lourdes is very pretty.
She's beautiful.
And Madonna's story is a little risque. I don't know how she would want her daughter playing her. You know what I mean? Like think about the sex times and think about all the fetish stuff that Madonna was doing back in the 80s and 90s, you know? To have Lourdes in those outfits?
It's kind of cool for her to be that open with her daughter, though.
That's true.
And to let her know her history.
That is true. And you know what? We'd be watching that movie.
100%.
You'd probably be the first one there.
I'll get us both tickets.
For sure. Finally, okay, porn. Did I get your attention now?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about porn. I got my girls in today, so let me give my boy Damian these boys. This week, Adult Video News hosted the GayVNs. You know, the Oscars of gay porn in Los Angeles. A whole boatload of friends of Hotspots magazine and the Happening Out television network attended and were award winners. A special shout out to Wilton Manors and Fort Lauderdale charity do-gooder Howard Andrews of FabScout Entertainment as he won the prestigious GayVN Hall of Fame award. What are we all talking about? What do you think?
I think that's amazing.
Yes.
I first met Howard when I was...
So you know Howard?
I do know Howard.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me.
Such a wonderful person. I was working at Johnson's in Fort Lauderdale. I met Howard there. He has such a way of making people feel comfortable around him. He does so many amazing things for charity. I remember during quarantine, he would set up food stations outside of Johnson's for people to come get free meals and stuff like that. He's a very, very, very hardworking person and just a wonderful guy. I'm so happy for him.
Well, and that's what I've heard. I've heard that he's a wonderful guy, and you wouldn't expect, you think that somebody like this, like a porn god, would be exuding porn, and he's quite the opposite. He's a nice guy. He's relatable. He's a friend of the show.
100%.
Love it. So he totally deserved this award for sure. Question for you though. Have you ever done porn?
I have never done porn.
No hesitation there, folks. You saw that. Okay.
I've thought about it.
Okay. And so why not?
I just don't think I would be a great porn actor.
I disagree. Do you, America? I disagree.
I feel like you have to have a certain confidence level and a certain adaptability. And these are just tools I don't think I really have in my tool belt.
He doesn't know he's that hot. How is that possible? Okay, well, I would watch you in porn, so if that comes around again, take advantage. I mean, if they need a over-the-hill lesbian, call me. All right. Next up, Damien, we are so gay after all. So let's talk about some fun things that will help get us through the week. Let's begin with GringoLandia. Say that with me.
GringoLandia.
GringoLandia. One more time.
GringoLandia.
Oh my God, you say that so perfect, like without an accent or anything. Have you had any gay boys on you, in you, around you? Anyway, so a Cuban journey in a world is a world premiere event from Hannah Benitez at the Adrienne Arsht Center through January 30th. Tickets are through arshcenter.org. What do we love about this? So GringoLandia is a journey about a Cuban experience of someone coming from Cuba. And the beautiful thing about it is that here in South Florida, we have so many Latinos. We have so many Cubans. I'm married to one. I know you've probably had a few of your own. So this is kind of like, it takes you through a journey from Cuba to Miami, filled with music and just cultural love all around. Would this be something that you'd be interested in the Arsht Center?
Absolutely.
Have you been to the Arsht Center?
I have. Yes, once. What a beautiful place.
And they have incredible shows.
Yes. It's a gorgeous venue, and what an interesting story. I love to see people celebrating their culture and their history and their story. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and since we have so many Latinos down here, like it's interesting to go and see their plight and see what their ancestors have gone through, you know?
100%.
And I'm all about the music because Cubans love to dance. Am I moving your bed too much? I am.
No, I love it. Keep doing that.
It probably wasn't the first time that your bed has moved like that, Damien, so please. Next, Donald Trump hates him. Oh, so that makes me love him already. All right. Okay, all Republicans hate him, but he's freaking hilarious and has become the voice of the LGBTQ plus community in song and sarcasm. Of course, I'm talking about Randy Rainbow, and he comes to the Broward Center on January 27th. All the details and tickets are at browardcenter.org. What do we love about this? What do we love about Randy Rainbow?
Well, he's hysterical.
Okay.
First off, he's so funny. His song parodies are just really clever. It doesn't sound like, oh, he's trying hard. It's not corny. They're just really spot on and funny. Really?
So does he do these songs about like topics, about everyday topics, about stuff like that? Like
usually politics.
So that's where, so I wonder if all his material now is gone since Trump is not in office anymore. I doubt it.
No, I mean, he's still doing asinine things for people to make parodies about. So.
So before Trump, he also was doing parodies and stuff like that.
I feel like he really hit my radar in 2020.
Okay, during quarantine.
Not 2020.
Before sometime. What was he doing? The election.
Not 2016.
Okay.
With the election. And I remember my friend turned me on to his parodies. And I was working at the time in a very Republican hair salon with bosses that would just kind of constantly spouting all this nonsense. And she would show me these little videos. And at least I had two other people, him watching his videos and her, to sit in the corner and laugh about this. And it made me feel a lot better.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so I have to look up Randy Rainbow. So his show was postponed a couple of times because of COVID, but now he is coming here, and go see him. Oakland Park Center for Spiritual Living brings an inspirational program called Leave the Planet Better Than You Found It. It's our LGBTQ plus manifesto, our moral obligation to leave the world better than we found it. The program will challenge you to go ahead and plant a garden, or start a business, or commit to love more, self-love also, or maybe have a kid, maybe not have a kid. There are billions of ways to do this. You can start where you are and with what you got, because loving, this type of loving, leaves an imprint in the world. Leave the world better than we found it. You'll see what it brings. The event is on January 30th, and you can participate in person or online. More information can be found at cslfortlauderdale.org. What do we love about this? Have you ever been to the Center for Spiritual Living?
I have not.
You have not? Okay, so it's kind of like a church. Are you spiritual? Do you go to church or anything like that?
I would not consider myself particularly spiritual, and I definitely don't really vibe with organized religion that much. I kind of avoid churches and stuff like that.
Why?
I just feel like organized religion has done some really awful things to LGBTQ plus people for a very, very, very long time. And even though things are changing a little bit, it's still hard for me to accept that and jump on that bandwagon. It's just not for me.
And I can see that. I can see that. My wife was raised Catholic and went to Catholic school, and she like cringes if she goes into a regular church. So totally understand that vibe. But LGBTQ plus needs religion too. We need spirituality as well. Like, you know, we broadcast from Sunshine Cathedral, the largest queer church, and you know, there are places for our people to go to, like the Center for Spiritual Living. Now, what do you think about leaving the earth better than what we found it? Like, let that be something new for the new year.
That's a beautiful thing, because it's really easy for us all to take for granted the world that we live in and just kind of say, oh, things are how they are, whatever, I'm just gonna like go along my merry way and not really care that much. But the world doesn't revolve around us as individuals. It revolves
the world can easily revolve around your sexy ass. But no, I get it. No, you're right. Like, once we're gone, we have to, you know, plant a tree, like start a business, love more. I wouldn't have a kid, but get a dog, get another dog. I would do that. No kids ever?
No.
Like, you know it for a fact.
Hard no.
All right. Hard no. And Luna agrees. Luna says get another dog, right, Luna? See? Okay. Okay, this is one of my favorite events that we're going to talk about now, LeBoy. Okay, I can't wait to join you here. So the famous Wilton Manors Fort Lauderdale nightclub, let's just say the name is accurate, okay, LeBoy. And on Tuesdays, they have a theme party called Fetish Tuesdays. Tuesday is the beginning of a long hump day. Well, days of humping, I think, when it comes to these boys. LeBoy is doing this fun event that caught my lesbian eye. And also there's this very special, hunky, gorgeous DJ named DJ Damien. Wait a minute, that's you! Damien Lenore, you're gonna be spinning for a really good time every Tuesday at LeBoy. More information at LeBoyFTL.com. What do we love about this? Tell me about this party.
So this is an awesome event. It is fetish themed.
Okay.
Which you can interpret that however you want to.
Uh-huh.
And I'll be playing kind of a little bit darker music than they usually play, kind of industrially sort of house music and stuff like that. And all the dancers are encouraged to dress up in their fetish gear, whatever that may be to them. The first one, people were wearing a lot of latex, a lot of fishnets and stockings. Some of them wore heels. Somebody came in with these beautiful angel wings and was up on the pole with the wings on. It was just incredible. The looks are incredible. Everybody's having a really great time.
Ugh, it sounds like a fun. I have to tell you that I really have been secretly interested in the fetish world and kind of not knowing how to maybe go to my first event. So I think this will be my first event, my first fetish event. What should I wear? You know I got my harness still.
Oh, absolutely.
Can I wear a harness?
Wear that, mix it up with some leather pants or some rubber or some fishnets.
Rubber.
Just have fun.
Rubber. All right. Rubber, and I'll bring rubbers. All right.
Period.
I look forward to it, Papi. So the Eagle Wilton Manors, that's our next topic. That uber masculine, leather-wearing, bear den-loving, iconic club on Wilton Drive. But we're going to change it up a little. As the owners, go girl. Yes, the Eagle is hosting a traditional ladies' tea dance on Saturday, February 12th from 2:30 to 6:30 p.m. And I am dragging my Queer News Tonight anchor partner, Al Ferguson, to this one. The Key Club is back with the third ladies' tea dance, and their mission is to create an experience that brings the local lesbian community together for a celebration of love and freedom. Attractions include DJ Lady Snack Daddy, big friend of the show, 3 rooms of dancing and outside area available. Ladies dressed to impress. More information is available at Eventbrite or at eaglebarwm.com. What do we love about this? Do you go to the Eagle?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Eagle, you know, is prominently leather, masculine, male, and they're having their third tea dance where they invite us girls in.
I think that's so cool.
Do you?
A really cool role reversal. It's really cool to open their space up to not just their typical demographic, to increase their demographic, give people a place to get their freak on and have a good time and dance.
Yes. I mean, we went to the first one and it was about 250 ladies.
Wow.
and it was jam-packed. And, you know, something that really touched me is that I was at the front door recording something, filming something, and boys came up and they were like, a girl at the door? What is going on? And I expected them to like look at me like in disgust or anything. They were like, hey, so what's going on? We're letting the girls in? And they enjoyed the party. They came and partied with us, you know? So I really felt welcomed at the Eagle, and I love that they're doing this again.
I love that. That's really cool.
You know, the girls want to be on the drive too, and we love to party with our gay boys as well. I love to party with my gay boys as well. So giving us a place like this, kudos, Eagle. We love you. Well, it's what we will all be talking about this week and the events that we want to attend. I got to thank my boy, Mr. Damien, for getting up early for the FayWhat show. And remember, make sure to follow him on Instagram and at Return of Babylon. I know how hard it is for you to wake up this morning, Poppy, so I really, really do appreciate. I know that gay boys sleep really late. I think you probably got to bed at 5 this morning, didn't you?
It's a late night.
Yeah.
It was a late night.
Yeah.
But you brought me coffee.
I did.
So...
And I brought you a pup.
And a pup.
Right, Luna? Right, Mama?
Are you having fun, Pooch? Are you having a good time, Pooch?
I think that she's having a great time. So, Damien, I will see you next week, Papi. Okay?
Can't wait.
I
Looking
will
forward
wake
to it.
your ass up again. I just won't tell you at what time. I'll just be creepily sneaking in through your window maybe next time.
It'll be a surprise.
All right. Have a great week. I love you.
The same. Love you too.
Good morning again, LGBTQ plus South Florida. This is the first gay weekly morning TV show in the world. And I'm FayWhat. Buenos días. Estoy encantada de estar con ustedes esta mañana. And I'm all about our community. And I want to talk about our interesting world. We have people to meet. We have events to attend. And it's time to plan out our week. You may have noticed that I'm a girl. We like to call it a lesbian. And you may have also noticed that we don't rule the gay boy world. But that's okay, because I'm a gay boy too. So as the FayWhat show develops, you are going to agree with me. Everyone in the L, the G, the B, the T, and the Q community have more in common than the things that separate us. I'll be here with special friends every Monday at 9 a.m. to start off your week. And I'll be inviting special guests and friends to make our time together lots of fun. Is our community important to you? If it is, I hope that you will share this experience. Please like the FayWhat show on YouTube or Facebook. And huge news! Next Monday on January 31st, you can watch the FayWhat show on broadcast television. Tune in on Roku, Apple TV, Google TV, or Amazon Fire TV. I want you to support me in this endeavor. Next, we have two special guests. Where are all the girls at? How healthy are they? What are the trends that are important to the L in the LGBTQ+? Shockingly, we have so little information. So when I learned that the National Task Force was going to engage in a national LGBTQ women's community survey, I just knew it was important. Joining me now is the National LGBTQ Task Force Communications Director, my girl Cathy Renna, and their Policy Institute Director, Jamie Grant. I know that you will join me in welcoming them to the FayWhat show. All right, so we're here with Cathy Renna and Jamie Grant from the National LGBTQ Task Force, and we are so excited to have the girls here today. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here.
I wish we could be in person, but you know, that little thing called COVID. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you, Miss Cathy. I saw you at the gala months and months and months ago, and let me tell you, you were looking fine.
Thank you.
You're supposed to say right back at you, Faye. You were looking lovely.
Oh, sorry. I was actually thinking about how great Kiera looked, but that's a whole nother issue. We'll talk about that later.
Oh my God. We had, yes, Miss Kiera Johnson was on the FayWhat show weeks ago.
Rip the boss.
And she is just incredible. And Miss Myra Hidalgo, I mean, both of them are just, wow. They make me proud to have a vag. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, they're just wonderful, wonderful human beings. But girls, we've got so much to talk about. So let's get to it, because I know you girls are busy saving the world. So the National LGBTQ Women's Community Survey, all right? I'm proud to have taken it the other day. Tell us about it and why it's so important.
Sure. Well, there is no national data. There's been no national community survey on LGBTQ women who partner with women. It's kind of hard to believe that we're all the way to 2022 and we don't have a huge sample of the great diversity of LGBTQ women that looks at our lives in a comprehensive way. There are 170 questions in the survey. I'm sure you remember it takes a while to finish. And it's because we want to be able to see how all these different issues are playing out in our lives and how one domain affects another. So we don't really have anything like that to date. So that's why we decided to do it.
Well, I took the survey, like I told you, and I had to wait on a 2 hour and a half COVID line. So hey, what do you do when you're online? You take a survey, right? And it was very thorough. Tell us a couple of the questions that are on the survey.
Yes, well, the areas we look at: health, we look at education, we look at sex and sexuality, our gender identities, our families. How are we forming our families? How are we sustaining our families? How are we sustaining ourselves? We looked a lot at economic injustice and justice issues, policing, violence. We're asking a lot of the people who are taking the survey. I mean, I'd love for you to say a little bit about how it was for you to go through all those questions, because it's so important for us to know. And we wanted the survey to also be supportive of you as you were taking it. So what was your experience taking it?
Well, I mean, okay, first of all, it takes like 20, 30 minutes to finish the whole survey. And I love and appreciate the fact that you can start it and then go back to it and you don't lose any of the answers that you have put in. That was super important to me because my ass is lazy, right? So, and I loved how thorough it was when it came to how did you feel at this time of your life? What were your sexual partners during this time of your life? Did you identify as a woman at this time of your life? It was super, super thorough. And I didn't feel like any of the questions were intrusive or past a certain line. I thought they were all questions that needed to be asked, and I've never taken a survey that asked questions like this before. How important is this data? Where does this data go to?
I can do that, Cathy, or if you want to talk about it.
Go for it. No, go for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, policy, right? I mean, I still feel like I've been in the movement since the late 80s, early 90s, and I still feel like the things that really have affected my life as a woman who's partnered with women and trans folks, trans men and trans women, that the issues that I really need to have a good quality of life are not really addressed in the larger culture, right? And in our movement priorities. And we really want this data to be able to speak to a 360-degree view of what the challenges are for LGBTQ women who are partnering with women in our lives. How are the different systems that we're coming in contact with impacting us? And this data will give us the direction that we need to go in to have comprehensive policy that makes our lives livable, so that we can thrive.
Why has this survey taken so long, Cathy? We're here, it's 2022. We are the first letter of the acronym. Why is this data something that we're finding about now? I would guess that the gay boys probably had a survey back in 2002.
Well, I think it was Kiara said it best when she was on your show recently. It's like we can sum it all up in a word, like sexism. But not to be glib, but like we're also having a little bit of a reunion here. Jamie was at the task force and headed up so much of the important research that the task force has done over the years. I mean, we as an organization understand that, if we're not counted, then we don't count. So whether it's, supporting this survey, working on the National Transgender Discrimination Survey, which Jamie was a key part of, whether it's our Queer the Census work to, do advocacy around, other data collection that is not inclusive of queer people, this is really, really important stuff. I mean, sometimes it seems a little wonky and nerdy, but that's why we're doing so much to get women to respond to this survey, because we just simply don't have this data, for obviously some of the simple reasons that, like what I just said, but also because we now have the resources, and the ability to reach out to folks. And in particular, and Jamie can speak to this even more, is really reaching diverse communities, cross demographics. I mean, one of the things that we need to understand is it's not just letters. LGBTQ is about our sexual orientation and gender identity, but we also need to look at our race, our economic status, where we live geographically. Are we in a rural area or an urban area? There's so many variables that we need to look at as an incredibly diverse community. And this survey really does that incredibly well.
I love how inclusive this survey is. Okay, I've never seen something like this before of its kind. I am a firm believer, and I am a huge ally to my trans brothers and sisters. If you identify as a woman, that's it. You should be under the woman umbrella. There is no ands, ifs, or buts in my book. Right. Okay, yes. Period. Yes. End of story. You are a woman living the trans experience. You are a woman. Yep. Done. Period. I've never seen a survey like yours that was so in depth and included the trans women like it should have been for years.
Forever. Yeah. Well,
I think that,
one of the things we want.
I was going to say the simple way to answer why it's so inclusive is to look at not just me and Jamie, like, because we're like the two white chicks here, but if you look at the full group of both the folks putting together the survey, doing the outreach for the survey, advisors for this survey, it is an extraordinarily diverse panorama of folks who are all impacted by what will come out of this. And I think that's the key. There's such intentionality in putting it together from the get-go, from the individuals who were doing it. I mean, having someone like Urvashi Vad at the helm doing this is really important, because we as a community have not always done the work that we need to do around making sure that we have racial diversity in the things that we're doing on a daily basis.
Right.
So what
that we're fighting?
Go right ahead, Miss Jamie. Sorry.
Or that we're fighting racism as a queer project, right?
Yep.
Fighting racism is a fundamentally queer project, in my view, right? That's how I came into the movement. So, we want this survey to really bust through researchers' ideas about who we are, what we care about. I mean, I hope all the surveys after this, recenter what their ideas of an LGBTQ women is, that whole category, the way that we define it, because of the architecture of the survey, as you say, Cathy, we have a dream team of LGBTQ women activists and trans men who put this together. And so the language of it, as you say, is our language. It's not the language of some discipline out there or some authority that's trying to do something to us. It's us talking to us about us, trying to change, the world for ourselves. And that kind of project, the self-determination in it and the creativity in it, it's amazing. And we want everybody in this data set. This is going to be the largest data set on LGBTQ women's experiences in the world, we hope. And we need everybody's story.
Thank you so much for that. And I've got to just reiterate what you said. I take surveys here and there, and they become, they're lengthy and they're wordy, and some are very confusing. And I really did feel that the wording for this survey was simple, to the point. I wasn't lost like I was expecting to be, and I really was not. When is the final day that we can still do this survey? Let us know when this is over.
Yes, we are in the field until the end of March.
Okay.
And we really want to be able to come out with data this summer that is going to impact elections, right? That is going to have an impact on getting people out and really defining issues for us and for candidates that are critical. So
okay,
get everybody to get out and do the survey now.
End of March, the link is going to be on our website. Folks, women, share the link, get all your friends to fill it out. This data is super, super important. You guys are always fighting for our rights, fighting for our community as a whole. The Creating Change, okay, the Creating Change Summit that usually, I think that you guys had rescheduled it, COVID. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. It's kind of heartbreaking, because it would have been the first time we're getting together in person. Creating Change is the premier queer activist conference. This is the 34th year we're doing it. I think I've only missed like 2 of them in my life. So, unfortunately we had to go virtual. So we're not in New Orleans. I would currently be having like a coffee and a beignet if it was happening this weekend. But, we had to make a decision, and the health and safety of the folks in our community is the most important thing that we can put as a priority. So it is being postponed. We are going to be doing a sort of abbreviated version of the conference on May 19th and 20th. You can go to creatingchange.org or just follow the Task Force social at the Task Force on Instagram, Twitter, and we're on Facebook to find out about registration. We'll be having some of the larger components of the conference, like our keynote speaker, Alok, who's an extraordinary writer, activist, speaker, fashion model, who's a non-binary, is actually a relative of Urvashi's, and also be doing our survey team. Movement. And on the survey team, that's right.
On the survey team.
And also we'll be doing a live State of the Movement with Kiara Johnson and Maida Hidalgo Salazar, which is kind of like our queer version of the State of the Union, and several other pieces of programming. But the interesting thing is, Jamie and I were talking about this before we started the interview. One of the things we've learned with COVID is that by having virtual events, they become much more accessible to folks who may not have otherwise been able to participate prior. So this is really the kickoff of what we're calling Creating Change 365. Now, Creating Change is a premier program of the organization, but we've been doing so many virtual events over the last 2 years. It makes so much sense to have this just become the gold standard for the way that we engage with folks on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, especially in this year as we're going to be needing to do a tremendous amount of engagement, outreach, conversation, discussion, and education as we approach the midterm elections. So we're really excited about it. Again, disappointed, but we're doing what we need to do to keep everybody safe.
Cathy, it's the world that we
Cathy-
live in right now.
Kathy, can you say the date again? Because I think you said the wrong date.
Oh, March. Did I say May?
March.
You did.
Yes.
Oh boy.
So
I'm getting ahead of
let's
myself.
tell
That's
everybody
like-
again. It's in March.
It's March. Let me say that again. It's March 19th and 20th. Sorry about that. March 19th and 20th.
Great. Okay, so Creating Change, it will still be an extraordinary event. Catch it virtually. It's powerful stuff that we need to support for sure. Now, still talking about COVID and things that are canceled in our community, I think that you've got a little announcement for me, Cathy, about something else that's going to be canceled, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this one is even more heartbreaking, and I know it's particularly heartbreaking for our folks in Miami. So we had to make a very, very difficult decision to cancel Winter Party 2022. I mean, we're in the latest surge of COVID. We all talked about a worst case scenario and a new variant and a new surge, and this is where we are. So, again, like I said, we'd like nothing more than to come together and celebrate, especially Winter Party, which is a huge celebration of community and resilience and connection. And, especially for not just the staff, but for the family of volunteers and folks who really help this event happen in Miami every year. It is really heartbreaking. I mean, people were literally like in tears when we had to make this decision. And, it's unfortunate. They did decide that it did not really translate for virtual, and we don't really have time to pivot to create a virtual event. So,
and it's such a wonder, and it's not just a party full of incredibly hot toned gay
Correct.
boys and me.
Yep.
It's a fundraiser also. So we're missing out on that, and that makes me sad as well. But I mean, this is the world that we live in, ladies. We're not that we're getting used to it, but I thank you for wanting to keep us safe. At the end of the day, that's got to be the most important part of it all. So ladies, I don't want to keep you longer because I know, again, you guys are always out there saving the world. What else are you ladies working on for this year? I know that the vote is super important.
Well, I mean, I think that for the task force, our campaign for this year is essentially Queer the Vote. Well, we'll be launching the campaign at Creating Change March 19th and 20th. And, it's also our work every day. I mean, we've been doing work around voting rights. We've been doing a tremendous work around reproductive rights. Working at the intersection of all of these progressive issues and issues that are important to our larger community, our entire community is, that's the task force sweet spot. And so we are doubling down. We are putting all our chips in to really do everything we can, because the reality is our democracy is at stake. This is not simply about queer rights, right? This is about all our rights.
Thank you, ladies, so much. And now, lastly, just I got a little personal note, okay? So I'm a huge, huge Amy Schneider fan on Jeopardy. She is kicking ass and taking names.
Yes,
are you guys following? Are you guys loving it as much as I am?
She just broke through again, another barrier. She's gone over 1 million, right?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
And
It's
she is
pretty
the top.
amazing.
She's the
Yeah.
top woman.
Awesome.
She's the top woman.
Yep.
It feels like the queer Super Bowl every night. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, get your snacks, rah.
Kind of a nerdy queer Super Bowl, but yes.
Yes, perfect.
Hey, for this dummy, I'm learning stuff every day. So thank you, Amy
that's
Schneider.
awesome.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you so much, Miss Cathy, Renna, Miss Jamie Grant. Thank you for being friends of the show, being friends of mine. I so
Absolutely.
appreciate everything that you do, and I have a feeling that I'll be seeing you again on our show real soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Faye. Take
Love
care.
you, ladies. Keep
Okay.
kicking ass. We will be bringing you special interviews with interesting people like Cathy, Renna, and Jamie Grant to get your week started on the right foot with the FayWhat show. Before I finish, I gotta tell you what's on my mind. It's all about my Hollywood Pride. We had Hollywood Pride last week, and it was just such a wonderful event. You know, not all prides are all about party, party, party. Some of them are just about family, and that's what my Hollywood Pride was all about. It gave me so much joy to see whole families there, in partaking, having fun, enjoying Pride for what it is. I want to see more prides just like this one, full of family, fun, fellowship, and lots of gays. Well, so that's the FayWhat show. I am really passionate about trying to connect the L and the G in our LGBTQ plus community. It's often hard for us girls. If we believe that we are one strong community, then we must support all the letters of our LGBT and Q+. Nothing like this has been done before, and it's why we start off with inspirations like Mary Tyler Moore and That Girl's Marlo Thomas. It's a brand new year, and it's been a tough 2 years, so let's be a little bit kinder, a little bit funnier, and embrace our tremendous diversity. It's what makes us so strong. Until next Monday at 9 a.m. live or anytime you want on demand, I'm FayWhat, and I am #ThatGirl. Have a great week.
Rainbows, gay boys, #that girl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word. Is that girl the girl of all our dreams? She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, #that girl. Pride-filled tea dance, Wilton. Is that girl?